Well, folks, I came outside to take some more pictures of my birds, and look who was in my yard. I think that's Jerry from Tom and Jerry.
No,
No, you're not. Well,
Don't get me in trouble.
Well, who are you?
I'm Gary. His ratty, illegitimate brother.
Okay.
But you know what I can do that Jerry can't do?
What is that?
I can play the bass.
Oh, will you play the bass for me?
You want to hear me play some bass?
Yes, and maybe, can you sing a little song?
Oh, I'd love to do that.
Oh, that'd be great.
Is you ready?
I am ready.
Here we go. I'm cool as the frost on a pane of glass. I'm cool as the hair on a polar bear's ass. I'm cool as the drool on a penguin's tool. I'm cool, doo-wop, doo-wop. I'm cool, yeah. Let me play my bass, y'all.
Oh.
Uh-huh. So funky.
Yeah. How about you do it again and let me sing along?
You know the song?
Well, I can try.
Uh-huh. Are you ready?
I'm ready as I'm gonna get.
Well, I'm cool as the frost on a pane of glass. I'm cool as the hair on the polar bear's ass. I'm cool as the drool on the penguin's tool. I'm cool, doo-wop, doo-wop. I'm cool. Ooh, yeah.
That was so awesome.
Yeah. How about this tail?
Oh, yeah.
Jerry ain't got no tail like this.
Well, yeah, he has a tail.
What?
Jerry has a tail.
He ain't got no tail like this.
Well,
Right.
you're right about that. He
Yeah.
sure ain't got no tail like that.
Right.
All right, everybody, that song was courtesy of world-famous snow bassist Gary the Rat with the hit single I'm Cool.
Oh.
With guest vocalist, world-renowned Delilah. No,
Okay.
Delia.
Delia, yeah.
Oh, I fucked that up.
Yeah, you did. It's okay.
Damn it.
It's kind of expected.
Oh, Delilah. That's how this show is going to go, everybody. All right, everybody, welcome to the Rhythm Section Podcast. We're here to shine a spotlight on Greater Memphis and North Mississippi's vibrant music community by unveiling the incredible stories of our talented artists. Produced by SRP Studios, podcast-powered branding for business growth. Go to srpstudiosllc.com for a free consultation.
Tune in every Wednesday morning for fresh episodes on Apple and Spotify. Join us at 6 p.m. Central on YouTube and Facebook for Wednesday video releases. For all other details, visit therhythmsectionpod.com.
This episode is brought to you by Hempville CBD South Haven, whose mission is breaking people's dependency on Big Pharma. Discover life-changing CBD products and Delta-8 THC alternatives to opiates and prescription medicines.
Use promo code TRS20 for an exclusive 20% off purchases at HempvilleCBD.com and enjoy free shipping for orders $50 and up. And please visit their store at 562 East Goodman Road, South Haven, Mississippi.
Follow them on Facebook and Instagram and catch the Hempville CBD podcast on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Its purpose is to give you hemp education and market awareness. The best way to support that podcast is to subscribe to Ben Cooey's channel. Click the link in the description and hit that subscribe button. Visit HempvilleCBD.com for all information. What's up, Jeff?
I'm here.
I know, I am too. I'm here, but
Yeah.
I shouldn't be as tired as you. You just had a big rock show last night, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you and Boneyard at Hadley's.
That's right.
We're going to talk more about that,
Sure.
too. We're going to dig in. But first, today's episode is Davy Dave Smith, the Deb Jam Band, and Landslide, a Memphis tribute to Fleetwood Mac, and co-creator? I guess him and Josh Haynes created this together, but all Josheen products today.
Yeah.
As you can see, anyone that's not watching, please come to YouTube, and you'll see my new background We are endorsed by Josheen today.
Yeah.
They are the ones fueling the shininess of my head. And I shaved my head just for this, just for today. And then next week, season finale, Wednesday, March 20th, John, Roth, Winger, and Starship, some bands you've probably heard of.
Yep.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. But before we really get into the silliness, we have a very important thing to talk about, and that is Kitchen and the Cross. So joining us today, we have Michelle Isom.
Hello.
Karen Dillard Brown, everybody. You know these ladies.
Applause.
Hey.
Applause.
Oh, look at Jeff, the sleepy guy, on top of it. Awesome. Thanks for being here.
Hey.
With that said, I do have a new sound to introduce. And we use squirrel a lot. But I'm getting more and more specific with the sounds that identify certain screw-ups.
Yeah.
And I mumble all the time. I stutter. I trip over stuff. So this is the new resident sound for that late in the season.
Dooba dooba dooba.
Do you all know where that voice comes from?
I have no idea.
That is Mushmouth, courtesy of Fat Albert.
Oh, nice.
Dooba dooba dooba.
That's a good one.
Hebalobu. Habayuba-dooba-ribbing. Okay, so Kitchen and the Cross, Michelle and Karen in the house. Thanks for being here, everybody.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us.
Yes, this is something we planned a while ago, knowing that we wanted to help promote this for y'all.
Thank you.
So let's start with Michelle. Let us know more about Kitchen and the Cross and what it is that you do.
Okay. Well, the Kitchen and the Cross started the week after the lockdown, actually. So what happened is my job stopped, and so having a little insecurity about the whole situation, I started going to these mobile food banks that they had around. Well, you had to have a car and wait in line to get food that you couldn't cook if you didn't have a stove.
Yeah.
So I wasn't working, so I started getting all this food and cooking it up and taking it out to the homeless, basically downtown by Union Mission. So at that time, I had just a couple of supporters, grew over about a year. And then Neil spoke to me about having a benefit.
Okay.
He was one of the very early supporters, gave me a lot of food. And so at that point, I didn't want to say, everybody give money to Michelle Isom. She's doing this, because it's a group, it's a community thing. So we came up with the Kitchen and the Cross. Good friend of mine, the late Dennis Sawyer, came up with the name. And then Melanie Pierce gave a logo. And then Karen came in and helped me kill the benefit. I had no idea what was going on. And she was so patient. I think there were like 5 things she was wanting to tell me I needed to do, but so she was waiting. And she was like, well, do you think you might? And I said, is that what we do?
So when you stepped in, Karen, sorry. No. Oh my God.
I've been called worse.
We're nearing the end of the season, Jeff. Karen, so when you jump
Me. That was me.
when you jump in, what role did you take? What was the things that you helped with?
Well, she had called and asked me if my band would play, and that if I would
Midnight Train.
help to do if I would help to do the MC for the benefit. I've done that for several years for benefits. And it's a process. I mean, you got to get bands together, and you got to get times, and, working with 5 or 6 bands on a schedule is very difficult.
Yes.
You got to have a back line. You got to have, so all of that stuff I didn't expect her to even know because, that's just not in her wheelhouse. So I just decided, well, I'll help you do that. And then it became important to me as well, because I can see what comes out of it. I can see that it helps people. And I realized that every time we did a benefit, we got more and more people that we helped. Well, like last year when she told me that we made enough for 10,000 meals.
Wow.
10,000 meals is a lot.
Oh my
for a
goodness.
meal,
Are you kidding me? Yes.
And being raised in the South, my mama was all about, if you came to my house, you're going to eat.
Yeah.
I don't care if you wanted to eat or not. Don't be rude and not eat. So I'm just used to people shouldn't be hungry, especially children. And there's a lot of kids that go without a meal every day in this town. in
And
this
going back to
county.
COVID, a lot of kids relied on the school
Yes.
meals.
Yes.
Yes.
So it changed the whole dynamic. And now food prices are so high, but a lot of these elderly people have to decide between buying medicine or buying food. You know, do without and get your medicine, or so they need some help. And it's not beyond us to help people like that. You know, I would rather raise money for something like that than a lot of other things.
Sure.
It's hard to disagree with that.
Yeah.
Impossible,
because it
rather.
actually helps somebody.
So I have a question for you, Karen. And I'm hoping that maybe today we can find a solution. But you're one of the great MCs out there because
Yes.
you talk in the mic. You
'Cause I talk a lot.
You project. But even you, people won't shut up.
Yeah, I know.
So we
know.
have Rick Hale out there that screams at everybody.
I know.
That still doesn't happen. That still doesn't work.
It works for about 15 seconds.
We've done them together because he'll be the bad guy and
Right.
I'm the good guy.
Right. But I wish, I know it's a bar and there's people sitting at the actual bar
Yes.
and they don't really know what's going on. They're not really paying attention.
Right.
Not that they're being mean about that, but it's a
Right.
bar. But what can we do, everybody? So when there's a speaker up at a benefit saying special things that need to be heard,
Right.
field mouse. Let's just
Yeah. Listen.
shh. That's what it should sound like.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it is.
Public
it's
service
distracting.
announcement. Shut the hell up.
Yeah. And believe me, I've known people that have actually turned around and told everybody.
Yeah. Shh.
Look, we're trying to play music here, or we're trying to say something here. Y'all listen. So, and I've been to memorials that have been like that,
Yeah.
where you would think everybody'd be a little bit,
Yeah.
but no, that they're just talking.
And
all
it is what it is. I'm
socializing.
not trying to pick on people, but
Yeah.
but it is a bummer when we'll use Kitchen and
Yep.
the Cross and Karen, you're up there and
Well, look,
You
I
know?
tell them, when I call the number on these raffle tickets, you got about 10 seconds to get up here and,
That's right.
and give me your nutmeg because it's going back in the bucket. If you're not paying attention, you ain't
Yep.
got your glasses on, whatever it is.
That's what I love.
don't care. We ain't got time for all that.
yeah.
See? So that's just the way it is.
What you gonna do?
Don't mess with Karen, Dillard, Brown,
Lose, you
everybody.
lose.
So let's talk about 6 bands coming
Yeah.
in. Let's talk about them. So we not in any particular order,
Right.
but of course we have Midnight Train coming in, Headband. We know Headband, right, Michelle?
Yeah. Yeah.
5 for the Kill,
Yes.
Backstreet Crawlers, 901 Rocks, and Boneyard.
Yep.
And Boneyard's going to be coming up again in this intro here. But let's say there's 5 per band. I would say on average, it's 30 people and schedules and families that you have to
Yes.
wrangle in, and that must take a lot. How long do you start prepping?
And
the
here's
bands?
another thing. I got 2 bands that guys play in both bands.
Yeah.
So I'm having to, do you want to take a break or do you want to do a back-to-back?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
because like Alan plays with 901 Rocks and Boneyard, and then Kris plays with Boneyard and us. So it's that thing, and David plays with Headband and us.
Yes.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I look at each individual as to, let's make sure everybody's comfortable with the setup and
Yes.
they know they're not having to play 3 sets in a row or something like
And
that.
and you
know,
mentioned
whatever they want to do.
you mentioned backline. So is someone from one of these bands donating the drums for the
Yeah,
whole
like
night?
Alan is
Alan.
putting up his drums.
Alan, please bring the drum riser.
I got to use the drum riser last night. It was awesome.
And that's coming up again later too. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So March 24th
Yes.
at Neil's. Okay, Michelle, what else you got?
Well, I just have to take a second to shout out to all the bands that have performed at all of the benefits.
Awesome.
And so it was Midnight Train, Elevation, Headband, Fast Mothers, Fever Tree, Backstreet Crawlers, Every Mother's Nightmare, Roxy Blue, The Electric Nobody, Chasing Angels, Grand Theft Audio, and Blind Without Readers. And we'll have 5 for the Kill 901 Roxton Boneyard at the end. So that will be, if my count is correct, 16 bands that have
Nice.
donated their time.
For real.
It's a yeah.
It's a real applause to all those bands and band members.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Such a good cause too.
Yeah.
And that's another reason that I think it's important, because we make it a community effort. We have the Memphis Music Family.
Yes.
And it's a tight-knit group of people that will help you if you need help. You know, I don't have to worry about something happens to me. I'm taken care of because I have that family. Now, my brother and sister, that's a different story. But, you know, but these guys here will step up to help you. And sometimes you get too many wanting to do it.
Yes.
So you got to kind of pick and choose and try to rotate it out so that everybody gets a chance. But everybody wants to help with this benefit.
Yes.
And we kind of consider it a Memphis music community type of supported benefit.
Yes. Well,
Totally.
me and Jeff can speak directly on how the Memphis Music Family has helped us
Yep.
and taken us in with this
Yeah.
silly ass fucking stupid podcast. But
No.
it is delightful getting to know you all, and
Yeah.
you know, and I get the opportunity to actually perform with Karen
Yes.
now.
Yep.
So
Yes.
You know.
We throw down.
yes, the Elevation Band, which you know, I want to continue to talk about Kitchen of the Cross. I hope we don't miss anything here. Is there anything that you want to add, like how people, the ticket sales are obviously all donations, but there are tips. Are there other ways that people can help?
We're going to have a silent auction.
Okay.
And we've been working really hard to get items. I've gotten, there'll be CDs from like Fever Tree. I've got music from Elevation. Reba Russell actually came to my house, brought me some CDs of hers and a painting by Wayne Russell. If you haven't seen his paintings, most of them are Memphis oriented, or they're named after the city of some sort, whether it be Beale Street, something about the river.
I'm sure they have, some of them have the
Very
bridge.
colorful.
You got the bridge and pyramid. Yeah.
So she brought me one of his paintings that we're going to have up for auction. Gloria Engel is bringing me some memorabilia, probably some signed pictures of some folks. That
Judy
she
Westby's
thinks that we
jewelry.
could- Yep, Judy Westby's jewelry. And then we've got Danny Day is donating a photo shoot.
Okay.
Nice.
So that's something that, you know, that's great. I have a gentleman who owned the one of the best Elvis stores in town. It was right by Graceland and across the street from Graceland. And he's going to bring me some Elvis memorabilia that he has that
Nice.
he thinks is very special. So we've got a lot of people that have stepped up to help us, like gift certificates for hair, nails, facials, you name it.
Heating and air.
Yeah.
Are you doing
Derek,
raffles?
you need a good facial. You need to get.
Basically, you're going to
Yes.
come in and buy raffle tickets. And I'm going to call out numbers of the tickets in between the breaks.
and you better be listening.
And yeah, that's right, because you got about 10 seconds. I'll tell you to get your glasses out and all that stuff, and I'll warn you, but that's what I'm talking about, listening.
Yes.
You know, if you're over there talking and everything, see, then you're going to miss your shot.
Yeah. Library voices, everybody, please.
Right.
Any Josheen products?
So, well, we'll take whatever
Yeah.
we can get.
We can probably get some of
I
those.
promise you that. And I have called people, and you know, everybody that I reached out to, because I reached out a little further this time. Everybody answered me back just like that, no problem, except for one Memphis musician.
Oh, are we gonna call this person out?
No.
Dang.
I'm sorry.
Come
I'm
on.
sorry, but I'm not gonna. Maybe it was just an oversight on their part that they never responded to me. I would assume.
I got to know off
And maybe
camera.
they still have time, you know, to step up. But it just kind of blows my mind because, you know, we're constantly asking people to help us come to our shows, buy the merch, support our, you know,
Sure.
TikToks and
Share,
and all
post,
that crap.
yeah, yes. And we do
and
it
then
every
when
week.
I ask you something, you go like, well, I don't know, you know.
Would this person happen to listen to this show? Do you know?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
What are you
Probably
doing?
because they think somebody's talking about them.
Along with the other,
And here we are.
along with the other 9 listeners that we have.
So if the person is listening, you know who you are.
You know who you are. I know they know who they are.
I hate you.
Well, before we move on to the next level of shenanigans, one last word, ladies. What do you want to say about Kitchen and the Cross?
Well, it's my heart. I go out and I take these meals to these people, and I know some of the people. I've been seeing them at the same place for 4 years, and it's got to be the root of homelessness has got to be mental illness, probably in almost every case.
Without question.
Yes.
But everybody, and like Karen said, all the people that have performed and helped, whether it be loading in and loading out, auction, donated, whatever, they have my undying gratitude. And also the people that I help. And I won't forget
No.
when they are in need too. They have a special place in my heart for being willing to just help people that they don't know.
Just last year, they helped create 10,000 meals.
Right.
That is a very big number.
And we want to do more than that
Yes,
this
let's
year.
break it.
Yes.
Let's
Well,
break that
what you
record.
guys
That's
are
my goal.
doing is hugely important, and you deserve all the recognition and thanks in the world.
Well,
I
Michelle
get it.
deserves a lot,
Yeah.
a lot, because delivering the meals, and I'll have to tell you, she's told me stories about going and giving people meals and not having enough. So you got 5 people that are hungry and you only have 3 meals. It's very disheartening.
Yeah.
It's very real.
You shouldn't have to
It's
choose
real.
who gets to eat.
No.
You see them
No.
running, they come running, hey, you're giving out to me. And then I have
Right.
to say,
I
I'm
don't
out.
have enough.
And,
You know?
Yeah.
And not
I
only does
start
she do the
crying,
meals, but
you know.
it's water in the summer, blankets in the winter, socks, hats. These are essential items that people do not have and cannot afford to get, and she gets them to them. And so I think we should do anything we can do to support her and make this huge. You know, MIFA does a huge thing here, but they can't see everybody.
Sure.
And they don't get out on the street like she does and find people that really need it.
No
So-
one organization can do it all.
No,
And that's why
no,
it takes
no.
more people like
That's
Michelle and Kitchen and the Cross.
The whole community.
it.
Yep.
If you missed it, Michelle, when getting praising from Karen, pointed to the sky.
Yeah.
So I think we can all say,
Yep.
glory to God, amen.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now let's be stupid.
All right.
So Kitchen and the Cross, though, I will say this. Last year when me and Jeff were talking about this and promoting it for you all, I kept saying Kitchen on the Cross.
Dooba dooba dooba.
So there you go. Told you I need that sound. So if you listen deep in the archives, you're gonna hear me literally say Kitchen on the Cross.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you put the sink, you put the oven right on that cross.
Okay, let's transition into Elevation Memphis, a Tina Turner tribute. It involves my co-host Derek,
Yes.
and it involves a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Karen Dillard is
Yep.
one of our singers. It's the night before
Yes.
Kitchen and the Cross. So it's on the 23rd at Neil's. So you need to go out both nights. We're
Yes.
asking a lot, but go out both nights, please.
Yep.
And then the next day, again, Kitchen and the Cross, 3 to 10 on the 24th. 6 bands. Check it out. But yeah, the Tina Turner tribute experience is this is our first time back. We played last year at Neil's, and it went great.
It
And
was.
Yes.
it was so much fun, and Karen was awesome about it. And there's a moment where you get up and speak, and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah. So she's going to talk all weekend. So you better listen. But yeah, shout out to LaShawn Henderson, Melanie Pierce,
Yeah.
Darren Lee, Josh Haynes is going to be on guitar with
Yes.
us. I'm on the bass. We got Karen on one of the vocals. Then we have Gina
Gina
Moore
Moore.
and Cameron,
Yes.
one of our dancers,
Carmen.
Carmen.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't mumble. I just got it wrong. So and then 2 more dancers. I feel so. This is the second time I forget the dancers' names. They are integral to the show
They're
because,
going to drop kick you at the show.
but they are integral because they really help make it different.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, they make the whole thing a show.
Yes.
They're entertaining and they're not over the top.
Right.
You know, it's
and Kyla on drums.
Yes.
I don't want to forget Kyla. We're
Yes.
going to have a different drummer, and she is awesome. Yes,
Yes.
she's a badass.
Cool.
She's a heavy hitter, man. She's
Yeah.
great. She's got all kinds of feel, so it's a perfect fit. So we're hoping to bring some more kick-ass for y'all on the 23rd.
And with Josh being there, we know everyone's going to be properly moisturized.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Before we move on to the weenus wipes
Yeah.
and the taint cleaning, you ladies, you just get ready.
You picked a hell of a day,
Yeah.
ladies.
Okay.
Yeah. We ain't holding back because we have ladies here. But Gen X, Boneyard, Hadley's last night. We recorded this on the 10th, so on the 9th there was a big rock show at Hadley's.
Yeah.
Generation X and the Boneyard. So please, Jeff, how
Man,
did it go?
It was amazing. Huge shout out to the Boneyard. Nick, Alan, Troy, John, and Kris. Amazing players, man. When we came off stage, they absolutely lit it up, and just Nick, dude.
He can hit them, can he?
What do you say? That
Oh,
dude can
gosh.
sing his
Yeah, he
ass
sounds
off.
great.
Fabulous.
And it's just amazing guys, amazing band, amazing set list. It's stuff you don't hear every day.
Right.
But you can say the same about Gen X, man. You guys are awesome.
And I got to mention all of my guys: Kevin Greenberg, Kevin Kost, Jeff Cobble, and Jason Dixon, and myself.
Yep.
We are loving this thing, man. That seems like people are embracing us and what we're doing too. And we try to make our set list kind of obscure, and we have some standards in there, but we try to make most of them stuff you just don't normally hear.
Like
Yeah.
later 90s, early 2000s, you'd say?
Yeah.
You throw some Pearl Jam in there, STP.
Yep.
What are some of the other artists that you cover?
Gin Blossoms, Goo Goo Dolls,
Tonic.
Tonic, yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
and,
Collective Soul. You guys do
yep,
some Collective
yeah.
Soul.
Yeah.
We haven't done it yet, but it's on our list. We'll be doing some Cult and some things like that.
I know
So
you're a big fan of Cult.
I do like the Cult.
The Cult.
Is it the Cult or is it
think.
just Cult?
You're a fan of cults.
I'm a fan of cults. But yeah, man, thanks to John Jacobs for having us out at Hadley's.
Who ran sound?
Keith Blanchard, dude, you had the place sounding amazing. So thank you for doing what you did. Yeah, it's just a great show. We loved it.
So Alan Bone, thank you so much for that drum riser that you donate for certain shows, and a message to every bar that can fit a drum riser. Oh,
Yeah.
it just looks so much better.
Yeah.
Yes.
It looks like a concert feel.
Yeah.
It really does elevate. I wish, especially like places like Lafayette's. I'm not calling people out here, but yeah, Lafayette's, Neil's, man, if they had a drum risers at these places, it just
Yeah.
changes.
Oh, and
Visually.
changes like at Hadley's. There's that wall. So when you raise it up,
Yes.
now people can actually hear
Yes.
what's happening.
Right.
I think it's great.
I know Hairspray Nation will bring
Yeah.
a drum riser.
Thump Daddy.
Thump Daddy has an amazing drum riser that has lights going around
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah.
It's pretty epic.
It's awesome.
And they managed to fit that on the stage at Dan McGinnis, which and they're already
my
a huge
God.
band. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Mulligan 64 probably can't do a drum riser there.
You
It
could.
would be the
The
stage.
band will be in the freaking dance floor.
Sort of like Collierville Rock House,
Right, right.
So the stage is actually the drum riser. But
Yeah.
And it's an ongoing joke. I rarely make it to the end of a show. And last night I'm standing there and I'm next to Cobble and we're listening and we're kind of, hey, these guys are badass type thing. And they get between songs and all of a sudden I hear Jeff. And I look up and Alan Bone's like, dude, we're almost done. I know you're ready to go to bed. Just give us a few more minutes.
I mean, you painted yourself in the corner. You announced it publicly. You called out Steve Owens saying, hey, don't worry, I'm going to be there. And then he's like, I'll hold you to it.
I was there.
So you had to. And it was your PA, too. So there's that part of
I
it.
needed to get those speakers.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, awesome. What a fun weekend that I did not go out for. All right, everybody. We're going to continue to talk about bands. It's all about the music here, isn't it? So this is when we put a shine on our band sponsors. We're going to start with Fever Tree. John Patterson's Fever Tree is a Memphis-based rock band that pulls heavily from its southern roots. They created a powerful and soulful mix of southern rock, blues, funk, and nitty-gritty rock and roll. Listen to singles Muddy Jesus and Buried Alive on Spotify, along with albums Social Mediocrity and Lessons Learned. John Peterson's Fever Tree has opened for such acts as Tora Tora and Josie Scott's Saliva. With global icon John Patterson on the drums, John Patterson's Fever Tree will ignite the candlewick and engulf you with the sweet yet pungent aroma of rock and roll cabbage. Find Fever Tree's socials and tour dates at fevertreeband.com.
How do I can't follow that up. What am I doing?
John paid for that, right? John paid
Actually,
for that.
Rocco sends us that. And, Area 51, Saturday, March 30th at Hadley's, Friday, April the 5th at Neal's, and Saturday, April 6th at Rock House Live, Collierville. Follow Area 51 on Facebook at Area 51 Memphis.
All right, Sean Few, and formerly known as Saturday, March 17th at Rock House Collierville, needs a drum riser. Saturday, March 30th at Dan McGinnis, drum riser. And Saturday, April 6th at Neal's Music Room, drum riser, people. Residencies, first Saturday of every month at Neal's, second Saturday at Hadley's, and the last Saturday of every month, you will find them at Dan McGinnis. Again, all need drum risers. Follow Sean on Facebook at sean.few.7.
Seeing Red, they have Chris Craig on drums. He looks awesome on a drum riser. Saturday, April 13th at Lafayette's Music Room, 9 p.m. Saturday, April the 27th at the Farms Golf Club in Dyersburg, 6 to 11. Songwriters Showcase. A portion of the proceeds will go to the St. Jude of Dyersburg. For tickets, ticket information, you can call Jody King at 731-694-3442. You can follow Seeing Red and Chris Craig on the drum riser at seeingredband.com.
Dooba dooba dooba.
I think we both needed that.
That's all right.
All right. The time has come, everybody. Davy Dave Smith.
We're about to moisturize your taint.
That's just, yes. And how do you moisturize your taint? Well, right now, we have a couple products that can work.
Right.
You can use the, classic Josheen lotion right here. So you can see, in the interview, we all tested out. My face was very shiny. Okay. I'm just saying. And then, or you can use Weenus Wonder Wipes,
Right.
from the makers of Josheen.
Michelle and Karen got their weenuses wiped as soon as they came in the door.
So in honor of today's episode,
Everybody wants clean.
this is why I shaved my head, everybody. Oh yeah. Ooh, it smells good too. It smells good. I'll do my taint later without the ladies here. Jeff, you can hang out if you
I
want.
don't want to know how your weenus smells. I really don't.
It's weird. I'm doing the show with my headphones on. The headphones are going to slide off.
Yeah.
Now my hands are all gross.
Dewy.
Ladies? Yes. So that's yes.
Keep it
so keep it dewy, everybody.
Keep it dewy.
Ladies, do you have some dry skin anywhere?
No.
Jeff?
I moisturized
Your face could
this
use it.
morning.
Yeah, I'm a little dry.
So, needless to say, we have a ton of fun with this. We absolutely talk about Dave's history, which is amazing. He's played with artists such as Kris Kristofferson, Rita Coolidge, Jonny Lang, Buddy Guy, John Mayall, Al Green, Steve Cropper, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Wilson Pickett, and oh yeah, by the way, B.B. King.
Yeah.
So we get into all kinds of things. It's an amazing interview, but selfishly, the first 15 minutes absolutely had to be about Josheen products.
Yeah.
And like I've said in the last few episodes, as we've been pre-promoting these episodes, if you just don't care for the word taint, earmuffs, I don't know, you just watch,
Right.
You turn the volume down a little bit, but the word comes up quite often. And God, knowing Davey, he talked about some ideas and maybe some future items coming in.
And dude, we need to have him back because when we went off camera and he's getting ready to leave, the stories he told us off camera were as freaking great as anything we talked about on camera.
It's nonstop.
Yeah.
And as interviewers, me and Jeff, we like people coming in and talking.
Right.
We need talkers. Some talk a little less than others. Answers might be a little shorter than some.
Some people like Julian Wong don't have to say shit. They're just cool as hell.
Yeah. So, Julian, how did you become an electrical engineer? I was just interested in it, went to college and got a job. I mean, that's an exaggerated version of that, but check out last week's episode. But I should mention though, I mean, he's a bass player, and yes, that was Dave playing the bass in a rat suit in the intro. But yeah, so he's been a session player for decades.
He's great.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
and then he still plays. He still gigs. I know he plays his church every Sunday. So he's a busy man, but what a fun guy.
Yeah.
What a fun guy. So what do you say, Jeff?
What do you want me to say?
You know this is a podcast, right?
I'm still a little tired from last night. Yeah. That was a dud.
It's all good. One last time, Michelle Isom.
Yes.
Karen Dillard Brown, Kitchen and the Cross. March 24th at Neil's, 3 to 10. You're going to see Midnight Train, Headband, 5 for the Kill, Backstreet Crawlers, 901 Rocks, and Boneyard.
Yes.
But then don't forget the night before.
Yep.
I mean, just plan a very busy weekend. The night before on the 23rd, Elevation Memphis, a Tina Turner tribute experience. Come see me. Come see Karen.
Yay.
And then when Karen speaks, what are you going to do?
Listen.
That's right. It's going to be silent. And then, Alan, if you want to bring a drum riser, I'm sure everyone would love that. So, all right, y'all. Thanks again to everybody. We're nearing the end. Next week's our grand finale on March 20th. So please make sure you check in with that. It's John Roth. It's another awesome interview. HempvilleCBD.com, TRS20 for 20% off at checkout. Free shipping on orders, $50 and up. Again, thanks to our band sponsors, Sean Few, Area 51 Seeing Red, and John Patterson's Fever Tree.
Yeah.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Rhythm Section Pod, and please subscribe to our channel. Go to therhythmsectionpod.com, look at the top right-hand corner, find the YouTube icon, click it, hit subscribe, and watch every episode we've put out. We're nearing 60, which is pretty amazing,
Wow.
which is very, very cool. So,
Yeah. You're going to get a strongly worded letter from Possum Titty. It's coming.
Guess who gave me that inside information for that inside joke?
Yeah?
Just take a guess.
I would guess Rocco.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
Rocco Walls, we love you, man. Thank you so much. So everyone else in the band, if you listen, I don't know. I know Rocco listens, but I don't know if the other guys listen. I hope they do. But blame Rocco for all these inside jokes.
Right.
So.
Thank you for supporting the music scene in this city, and thank you for supporting Kitchen in the Cross.
Thank you.
Thank you for supporting this podcast.
Yes.
We love you guys.
Oh, so enjoy our interview with Mr. Davy Dave Smith and Josheen Products, everybody. All right, everybody. Welcome, the one and only Davy Dave Smith, everybody. Man, have we been excited about this one? Thank you for being here, Davy.
Well, it's my pleasure.
So we had on the front end ask, well, what should we call you? Because you have many names. So Davy is what we're going to be calling you today.
That's good. That's good.
Mr. Moisturizer.
That's right. So goodness, we're not going to waste much time on that. But Davy is.
Let's talk all we want to about that. I'm all about moisture now. You
Oh
guys.
no, we're going to get there. But
okay.
Davy's an amazing bass player in town. We're going to talk about your history and all the different artists and work you've done and your website and everything. But first, we have to start advertising this new endorsement. There, Davy. Tell and show the audience what you brought in with you today.
Well, we need to be moisturized in the tri-state area. And I don't know if we're getting this on here.
Yeah.
Nothing better than Josheen, folks. Josheen. Well, I don't know if we need to read all this.
Go for it. It's all about the taint. You know this.
Well, there you have it.
Oh, no.
A
Let's go.
moisturized taint is a happy taint.
Yes.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Let me see the bottle. I'll give another shot here, everybody. Look at that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, undercarriage too.
I'm gonna try some.
Which I don't know if you want to take your shirt off.
Ooh,
There you have it.
I'm not gonna do the taint
And
on the
Thank
show.
God.
But boy, woo, man, that's smooth.
you can feel the difference.
try
can't
some,
you?
Jeff. And it's pretty
You
amazing.
can feel it instantly.
is.
I might have to change my lighting.
But
I'm so shiny now.
what we really need to know Does this work on possum titties?
Well, I've heard possum titties like very pink and dry.
Yeah.
it is undercarriage. This is undercarriage and taint.
Right.
A combination. Undercarriage and taint with lemon. Right.
With lemon.
So it's like, as a good friend of mine used to say, the undercarriage of our breasts.
I have a substantial undercarriage.
Yeah, well.
I do.
Oh, where the man titties hang?
Yeah. And you get funky as fish in the summertime. So,
I actually feel pretty moisturized right now.
Well,
my face is buzzing. So this is what we're going to do with this bottle. But I also want to hear the origin story behind this.
For now,
we're going to put this in our background here.
It's been going on so long, I forgot how it started.
So
I know how it started.
Look, it's all about visibility. So it's important the brand is visible. We got to get it out there. And, this episode is going to be alive for decades.
Oh, yeah.
So Josheen is going to be advertised forever.
You're going to sell tens of bottles because of this podcast.
This is probably the longest pre-product promotion of all time.
So how'd that come to be?
Pre-manufacturing.
So I know we had Josh Haynes on here a long time ago, an early guest, and he gave us, the origin story of Josheen. I'm dying to hear.
What did he say?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and watch the episode, but let's hear from your end.
Well, from what I remember, I saw a picture, like a studio glossy 8x10 picture of Josh on Facebook one day, and he just had this glow about it, And I thought, was Josh pregnant or what's up? So I asked him. I said, "What's he?" Well, yeah, he just looks so more. I said, "Well, what's your secret?" And then
Josheen.
So did he coin the name Josheen?
That would be me.
Nice. Well, take credit, man.
Yeah, but yeah. But inspired by that picture of Josh, it was just.
Looking sexy, Josh.
Yeah.
Looking sexy with
he
that
always keeps it
smooth
sexy.
skin.
And that's what I remember it being. And I go, well, all right, we started working on a formula.
Okay. So what was that experience like for you?
Oh, well.
Was it a long process?
No, not very long. It became, it was just like we realized that most people in the Mid-South, they needed to be
we got a lot of heat.
We do have a lot of heat.
Now, my question is, how did it go from, shiny face to the taint? How did we travel down to that area of the body?
Isn't that a natural progression?
I guess. So you're hitting under the man boobs, right? So you worked your way down.
That's where it started. It started with the undercarriage.
Oh, so that was the beginning.
It was
its niche.
Yeah, it was the face. And then I believe it was the summertime. And Josh and I were standing outside, and God, it's hot out here. I'm feeling, and so we were both scratching, and so we figured, well,
perfect. So we have another thing to market,
so we go, okay, well, how can we combine these ingredients? And then, of course, it naturally moved down to the taint.
Now, I wonder if when it comes to the taint aspect of Josheen, I wonder if a lot of drummers use it for that. Sitting on the throne.
I would think it would be especially good for drummers.
Jeff, does your taint ever get sore while playing?
Not anymore. Not after today, baby.
You've got a full bottle over there.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Advanced repair.
Advanced repair. Yeah. Oh, it will last 4 sets for sure. Yeah.
That's great. Well, man, I've been waiting for that for so long, Davey. I'm so glad you're here.
That's what I remember of it. That's what I remember of it. But we're always working on new products. Oh. Let's pull this out. This is something that Josh came up with.
Oh, beautiful.
Well, I think Josh and somebody else came up with it.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Wonder
Weenus.
Yes.
Yeah. Wonder Weenus. Well, these are called
Wonder Wipes.
Weenus Wonder Wipes.
Yes.
From the makers of Josheen.
That's right.
They're expanding. Look, they have other products.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just contact Josh Haynes.
Oh, it's a fresh one. Can I open it?
Oh, certainly.
Because a moist weenus is almost as important as a happy tank.
And where is our weenus at?
I'm not even going there.
Yeah, so it's a dual package.
Yep, this is the weenus.
That is the weenus. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ladies will like that.
Oh, yeah.
Smell.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
Hey, try it, Joe.
ladies need a moist weenus too.
Well, I mean, they're the ones,
Oh, yeah, it's unisex for sure. Yeah.
Smells good.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for what you do, Josh.
Yeah, that's totally his, the word in the weenus.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
guys have no excuse now to smell like shit between your products.
Oh God.
The unmistakable wang of ass. It's just no more.
And you can find all of this stuff on eBay.
Yeah.
We'll have it.
Or Josh Haynes. Just contact Josh Haynes.
Contact Josh.
What would be the next? We'll cap it here. Thinking, 2 years, gradual scaling of your business. What would that third product? Is there something in the works? Would it be like a shampoo, a conditioner? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, we're covering the undercarriage, the tank.
We know one musician who could use earlobe, like moisten the earlobes.
Oh, okay.
John Peterson needs some ear moisture.
Well,
all right.
It also cleans earwax. It doubles up.
There you have it.
But I mean, to me, it seems like a body wash, like the 3-in-1 for guys. They have all the body wash, the conditioner, the shampoo all in one.
That's
it makes
true.
it very easy for the guys.
I think that's a great idea.
The soap bottle looks like a fucking bottle of oil. You know how they do that, right? So maybe something like that.
Hell yeah.
Baby oil.
Yeah.
Or baby oil.
Some oil.
Yeah.
Josheen baby oil.
Josheen baby oil.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about all the body parts. I think we pretty much covered.
Yeah, we need hair. We need to cover the hair. No,
need
it
to
doesn't
cover
work
the
for
hair.
me. Or maybe for me, like shaving cream for my head.
That's
There you
it.
go.
Perfect.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, so you got work ahead of you here.
Yeah.
Let's work this out.
And if this don't work out for you guys, come work for us at Josheen.
There we go.
Oh my God, we could go on forever about
Yeah, we
this.
could.
Uh-oh, he's
Oh,
reaching
we
in the
got
bag
more.
again.
What do we got?
Well, here's some koozies for you.
Oh my goodness, Josheen
Oh
has
my
koozies. In the words of Davy Dave and Josh, keep it dewy.
Keep it dewy.
Dewey, baby.
Oh my
love
God,
it.
it just never ends. All right, everybody,
This is awesome.
here's a picture of this amazing.
And any kind of T-shirt you want here,
Oh my goodness.
whichever ones you want. We got 2 sizes here.
You did not disappoint.
This is the happiest day of my life. This is awesome.
We're ready to go,
Some
baby.
Josheen shirts.
Keep it dewy, baby.
Yeah.
Keep it dewy. So we got
We
black
got
with
large
red
and an
yellow.
extra large, so
Okay.
whichever one.
How long have you guys had this merch?
Well, this just came out. we were just rolling this out today.
Well, I'm going to claim I want one of the black with yellow, white lightings.
Yeah,
letterings.
I'll let you guys.
We'll
figure
figure
this
it
out.
I'll get the biggest one you have.
Yeah,
'cause-
I'm a 2Xer.
yeah.
We didn't know which way you went, so
It's all good.
Anyway.
That's perfect.
We
We love
but then
it.
again, if you wear something just a little bit snug,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Show off that
figure-
undercarriage.
Show you that.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of lifts the boobies,
Yeah,
All right.
right?
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
a Josheen girdles. How about that?
Yeah, Josheen. or
Man girdles, of
or
course.
girdles, or a Josheen sports bra
I love it.
with undercarriage built into it.
Yeah, and they can have some
Undercarriage
it can have-
moisturizer built into it.
yeah, it's almost like a coolant.
Yeah, a coolant.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Man, we're geniuses. I mean,
All right.
all right.
We hate to leave the hilarity behind, but we need to get a little serious about.
I know it's going to continue, but it's just going to be different topics.
We got to
so.
talk about his actual musical career.
Yeah,
which is-
so Davy
let's
Smith,
get into
everyone,
that.
bass
Yes.
player extraordinaire. You deserve a second one now,
absolutely.
man.
I gotta sing. I gotta dance.
I texted you. I think it was Friday when I was prepping for this show, and I was like, "Man, you're a delight to research because all you got to do is go to this gentleman's website, and it's and I don't have it written in front of me like an idiot. What is the website? What is your website?
That's a good idea. I hadn't been to it in a while.
The link will be in the description. Everybody.
That's exactly
It's
right.
already in the description, but
Oh, tripledmusic.com.
tripledmusic.com.
It is. It's right there, and you just missed it.
there
You
it
got to
is.
highlight things.
I'm super. The pages are slippery right now. I can't hold on to them.
Well, there you have it.
But go to his website. That will serve real justice on the amount of artists and albums and
Yeah, because we can't
road
cover
work.
it all here, but we'll do our best.
But so you're
I'm old, y'all. That's there you go. See?
all right from Blytheville.
Blytheville.
Blytheville,
Well, it is spelled Blytheville.
but it's pronounced Blytheville. Blytheville, Arkansas.
Blytheville, Arkansas.
What's Blytheville like, and where is that?
It's
in Arkansas is that?
That's in the northeast corner,
Okay.
about 12 miles from the Boot Hill, Missouri.
Okay.
And all of my family actually came from Missouri.
Does 55 cut through there?
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. I've actually probably been through it once.
You have been through it, or right past it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And what was it like out there? Was it a country town? Just
Yeah, it's a little. When I grew up there, it was more like like a little Happy Days town. It had all the
Mayberry.
Mayberry.
Yeah.
It really was then.
The Mid-South Wrestling had a tour through there,
Sure
did they
did.
not? Yeah.
Sure
all
had
the
some-
wrestlers that performed here went to Blytheville and performed as well.
Did you grow up watching wrestling?
I think my older brother actually went to
Okay.
those. And then he would come home and it would be like Sputnik Monroe. That was who was big then. Sputnik Monroe, Billy Wicks.
Okay.
And Sputnik was kind of the mean guy.
The heel.
He was the heel.
Yeah, he was the
I
heel.
love that because that's such deep.
Tojo Yamamoto.
I remember Tojo.
That is deep, old school,
That's old school.
territorial wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And that's the stuff I love.
They would
Watching
come-
documentaries on. It's so interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. They were, I think it was like the American Legion building
I'm
or
sure.
something where they came.
100 people.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So my brother would come home and then he would want to reenact what he just saw. So I would be the one he would lay on.
You were getting the pile driver.
I would get the
and
pile driver.
The 4-figure,
Laying
leg
on-
lock.
Laying on top of me. Get up! So, yeah.
But here's the thing: the art of the story is the heel beats up on the baby face, but the baby face makes a good comeback, and he's the hero. So if you're the one getting your ass kicked, that meant you must have been the baby face, which makes sense because look at that baby face, it's shiny and everything.
I was the baby face, but I didn't make a comeback. he would mainly sit on my face and turn his butt around and fart in my face. Is basically what he would do.
Nice. That's an interesting move.
That
was his
that was
finisher?
a move he came up with.
That
yeah.
was his finish.
And I'm going to assume there was no Josheen present.
Oh, there was no Josheen present.
Oh man!
No,
I mean, you don't
no.
miss those days then.
No.
Even more grateful for
No.
Josheen.
Yeah, but I got him back later on in life, But at that time, he
Yeah.
had me on size.
So, was bass your first instrument?
Yeah. What was? They gave me piano lessons.
How old? Like young, or?
Yeah, shoot. 8, 9, somewhere in there, I guess. And they started on me on piano. It was a nun was teaching us. I went to a Catholic elementary school, and so she would send me. I didn't want to do it. I just had no interest whatsoever. I actually wanted to play football for a minute until I got hurt, and then I didn't want to do it anymore. But I didn't want to do it then, and so she would teach me stuff, and I was learning some stuff, and then would send me into another room to practice on whatever she had just taught me. Well, she worked with another student, and so I quickly found out that if you just played on all the black keys, it sounded kind of okay. It sounded like Chinese music, but it sounded okay to play on the black keys. So I would just sit there and play while I was thinking of other things and watching my friends outside.
Just hitting keys.
Just hitting the black keys.
All the flat notes.
Yeah. Like I said, it sounded like Chinese music, but it sounded okay. And then she finally said, David,
Did you break out the ruler?
come out there and yeah, I got some of those on my knuckles.
Yeah. My family from the Northeast, they had the same schooling. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So what made the shift over to a stringed instrument? Was bass next? Or?
Well, then it was drums.
Okay.
Then I got into, I was in junior high when I got in went over to the public school system there. Got out of elementary school. And so got into band, doing the marching drums and
so
all
you're
that.
the snare
And bass drum. I like the bass drum because you could get in those parades, you could get on the bass drum and you'd be on the end of the line. So if my friends were there, I could hit the bass drum and hit them.
as you're walking by.
I was always looking for the joke somewhere.
You fit right in here.
So
Okay.
that was next. Boy, how did I get on bass? Yeah, because I didn't go. It was from drums. I didn't play guitar at first. What did I do? Oh, I know. Yeah, it was. They had a stage band in high school, like a kind of a jazz band, and nobody played bass. So that. Oh no, I'll take it back. Rewind. It was, and a lot of people have this story. There was all my friends had bands. Everybody was playing guitar.
Yeah. Guitar, drum, singer.
Yeah. And there wasn't even hardly any basses around. Nobody played bass. So, oh God, I wanted to be with them so bad. And it was like, so I lied to them and told them, okay, my dad's going to buy me a bass, which was a lie. And I said, okay, well, you're in the band. They gave me a tambourine, and I was like, doing Davy Jones.
And they think a bass is going to appear soon.
And they think a bass is going to appear soon. And he did. I mean, he did, because at that same time, so part of that was true about the band, the school band. They were needing a bass player in that thing. So I went to my dad about that. And if I got the grades, then he'd give me a bass.
So you got the grades?
No. I mean, I did, as far as he knew, but there was a report card I threw out.
Oh, my God, the old days. You can't do that now.
No, you can't do that now.
Everything's on an app.
It's on an app. Yeah.
Believe me.
I just went, I'm not just going to show him that.
Yeah.
You know? So he was busy at work when I went to show him my report cards. He go, okay.
Cool. So what was your first bass?
Univox.
Yeah, never.
Univox.
4-string? Oh, they probably didn't have. Did they even have 5
No,
strings?
5-string.
Way back then in the prehistoric
in the
days.
olden days. It was Univox. It looked like a Hofner. Looked like Paul McCartney's bass. And Univox.
The violin bass.
Violin bass.
Yeah.
God, I wish I had it now. Oh, so wish I had it. That and a Fender Bassman.
Okay. Yeah.
Fender Bassman amp.
There you go.
That's how it started.
Off and running. So you joined these bands as a bass player. And did you realize, really? Is that when you started getting more enjoyment?
Yeah.
I know you had enjoyment on drums in high school, but clearly the bass stuck with you.
I mean, it was kind of like in those days, of course, obviously you didn't have YouTube. You didn't have all the stuff. You just had to listen to records.
Yeah.
So that was it. I mean, just putting on records and trying to pick out the bass part on it. I mean, that's really how I was learning. I wasn't going to a school anywhere.
So
and not at that time.
I'm looking at some of your early influences. I love that who taught? Okay, Fred Hester.
Yeah,
local bassist taught you your first bass riff, which was James Brown's "Cold Sweat," and that's one of the coolest bass lines.
Oh man!
And I love playing it too. And I just thought that was really neat. So, who is Fred Hester?
Fred was played in a band with my brother Joe Smith, and Joe played drums. So all my brothers all played. My brother Joe, my brother Phil, saxophone player. My brother Mark was a drummer also. And so Joe was playing in a band, and Fred was playing in that band. Was the bass player. He did a lot of things. This was back in the days of, I think it was called Club La Ronde. And then there was a club on the top of the 100 North Main building called Top of the 100.
Okay.
And, it was
I'm not familiar with those.
So was it a funkier?
Yeah, these were
R&B.
No, these were more like kind of jazz bands.
Okay.
I mean, not
so much,
not hard jazz, but I don't know how you would describe some of that music. It was
So no Motown type stuff.
no. It was. It was more standard kind of,
Gotcha.
Stuff.
A lot of walking bass then.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And then Fred, I believe he was doing upright at that point. But the day that we came to Memphis, my dad and I came to Memphis and bought this bass at a place called Melody Music. It was on Tillman in Memphis, and so then we went to my brother's house, and Fred was over there.
Okay.
And so I really didn't even know the strings at that point, and so he showed me Cold Sweat, and I was just like, that was like my epiphany right there. I mean, when I could halfway play it.
And that was the moment.
That was the moment.
You were hooked.
I was hooked.
Point. Yeah.
I was hooked. Yep.
Well, you have done a ton of session work.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know how you got into that. How does somebody discover Davy Smith and all of a sudden, because there has to be so much work that goes into that and being somebody that they call. I mean, I looked online and it was just artist after artist and album after album that you have played on. So how does that happen? Because so far it hadn't happened for me.
Well, let me know.
You need talent first. There's a reason why I was getting ready to say,
let me know how it happened. I mean, I'm telling you guys, that was the last thing I even thought about doing. I mean, I'm sure we all feel, I mean, I wanted to be, well, at the time I came along, be in the Beatles, or have a band like the Beatles
Right.
or Led Zeppelin or something like that. I wasn't thinking about playing in the studio.
Right.
I would think the first time that there was a studio here in Memphis, I don't know if you've ever heard of it before, called, well, we're not in Memphis, are we? Called Shoe Productions.
Okay.
let's get you closer.
I don't know if you've heard of that before.
I have not.
And it was, they did a lot of jingles.
Okay.
And that became kind of a training ground for me. I mean, I had worked in the studio a little bit in California when I lived out there. But Shoe became kind of my training ground for that. And that was in the days when it was like, it was all, I mean, you had to have players play on things, you couldn't punch a button.
So way more opportunity.
So it wasn't necessarily easy to break into, but I never really was going after that. It just kind of fell into that,
Sure.
And so Shoe was a big part of that. When I lived, I mean, the first time that I ever played in the studio, you talk about a test of fire. I don't know if you saw anything about that, but I was living in California.
Okay.
And lived with a guy named Mike Utley, who was a keyboard player. That went on to play, he was Jimmy Buffett's MD, and was with him forever. He came from my hometown in Blytheville, and he graduated with my brother. So I went to college for a little bit, and that wasn't happening, and I wasn't going to any classes. So I ended up going out to California and lived with him. And cut to it, I was always hanging around, and he was playing with Kristofferson and Rita Coolidge at that point.
Yeah, because I see them on the list here.
Okay, yeah. So that was he was in their touring band. So they got together and they were doing a duet album, and so I was just hanging with Mike, just going and watching.
And Mike and who?
In the band.
Who was the duo?
Oh, it was Kristofferson and Rita Coolidge.
Okay, so now you're following them.
Yeah, so I'm just going to the studio watching them.
Gotcha.
Sure.
Do this album, and so I'm there one night, and their bass player just was deathly sick. Just got so sick he couldn't play. So they sent him out of the studio. I'm standing up against the wall. I'm like 17 years old, and I'm standing up against the wall. And they're calling on the phone. I do remember the name Lee Sklar. major
my
bass player out there.
Woo!
That they were trying to get Lee Sklar to come over
Legend.
and play. And he was already doing some or whatever.
Yeah.
Producer on it was a guy named David Anderley, was the producer of the record. It was A&M Records. And so I was just standing up against the wall. The drummer, a guy named Sammy Creason, was the drummer. Turned around to Mike. He said, Mike, your roommate plays bass, doesn't he? And Mike, knowing I had never played in the studio before, went, well, yeah. Sammy, God bless him, he turns around and he goes, you got your bass with you? I said, no. And he said, well, go run. The bass player's name was Terry Paul, was the bass player. He said, go see if you can catch Terry and get his bass.
Wow.
So I'm eager.
Sure. You don't say no to that. Right?
So I jump in the car, running down Sunset, because he was going back to the Continental Hyatt House, is where he's going to, and caught up with him in the parking lot.
Wow.
So I just run up to him and, hey, Terry, they want me to play on this album. Can I borrow your bass? There he is, sick as can be. And he goes, well, I guess so.
Poor guy's like all defeated.
Bless his heart. And so he gives me his bass, which was a Hofner bass. And went back. And so that was the first time I'd ever owned.
What was it like? You know, when...
Oh, I mean, it was
when
like...
when the drummer,
terrifying?
yeah, when the drummer counted off first take, what was it like? Did you have a chance to go over some charts? I mean...
No. I mean, I didn't, at that point, I didn't even know anything about reading charts or anything. It was, luckily, they were easy songs. So they just played the song down, which was a song called A Song I'd Like to Sing was the name of the song.
Uh-huh.
And it was kind of a calypso-y island type thing. Pretty simple, like a 1 in 5 thing,
Mhm.
you know. I don't really recall. I obviously, they just played it, and I just started playing, you know.
It's amazing.
We didn't, because it was, I mean, I didn't know anything about reading charts at that point. So we did that one. And then we did another one that was like a kind of a country song. Both of them were pretty simple. So, you know.
So it sounds like you...
So I did okay. You know, that actually became the first single off that album.
So, I mean, was the producer on you at all, or... Because it seems like you just the natural fit, boom, and your buddy was kind of like, oh, okay, I guess he can do this. You know, it just sounds like you fit right in and handled it. So if they weren't asking you to make changes too much and retakes too much, that meant that they were happy with what you were laying down, right?
Well, I remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember
That's
that.
great.
Yeah, I don't remember anybody saying anything other than we just played it down. And the producer did end up calling me back to come back and do an overdub on another song.
Okay.
Nice.
That was there that I don't even know if it even had a bass part yet.
Right.
And he was really big into, and I guess just because I was from this area and the feel, you know, we talk about of anybody being from this area.
Mm-hmm.
He was really into a Memphis feel, and evidently at that early age had that.
Sure. Yeah, I don't understand why.
So I came back and overdubbed on a song there, and so that was my
man.
Nice.
So I went like, wow.
So obviously the career is still going now, but let's just list off some other people that you've worked with: Jonny Lang, Buddy Guy, John Mayall, Al Green.
Wow.
I mean, what's the story with Al Green?
I think the first time was for a movie, for the movie Michael that John Travolta was in.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And it was just a song, you know, for that movie.
Right.
Oh man, that was just like, of course, like all of us, just loving Al Green. I'm going, wow, this is cool. And we were at Royal Studio. That's where we're at. And what I mainly remember of that, it was Al comes in and goes in the vocal booth. We did 2 takes of the song. And I think they ended up using the first. I mean, it was just like Al was just so dead on it right away. And I remember the producer saying, I don't know what to pick from what he did. All of it is just wonderful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was that. So, yeah, he was something else to work
Do you
with.
still have a way to listen to that? Was that published anywhere?
Oh, the song, yeah, it's on.
Well, I mean, it's on the movie.
Yeah,
right?
it was on the soundtrack. It's called Love God and Everyone Else. Is the name of the song.
So it's obviously published because of the movie.
Yeah.
But do you have any hard copy of it?
Probably not. I'm bad about that. I mean, I have some stuff that I've done, but
so, and back in the day, did you have any relationship with the Stax record gang? Steve Cropper and Duck Dunn.
Yeah, well, later on, not at that time. That was a little before my time. But yeah,
I didn't mean to age you like that.
Well, no, I mean it was just yeah. Well, shit. Cropper actually on the Buddy Guy record that I did, and one of the Jonny Lang records, Cropper was playing guitar on that.
Very cool.
And then Duck, I ended up meeting and, came in contact once in a while. And there was one album that Cropper was producing that Duck and I were sharing the bass duties on.
Cool. So, I mean, yeah, you have definitely know these people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's how I met them later.
I grew up on the Blues Brothers soundtrack.
Yeah.
And early on, when I was really trying to learn some cool bass lines, I was in a band that tried to be Fish, and that was not good. But then I discovered Santana, the nice rooted bass lines there.
Yeah.
And then I quickly found Duck Dunn, and the Blues Brothers movie is just an amazing soundtrack.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah,
and Steve Cropper and so I'm a huge fan of Duck Dunn. So
Duck was one of a kind.
So when Jameson, Debbie Jameson was in here, I brought him up, and I'd be remiss to not ask you about Duck Dunn.
Yeah,
I mean, what kind of character was he?
Oh, he just he was about as just down to earth as you could be.
Yeah.
I mean, with all he did, he was just a hoot. He was funny. I
know his persona was pipe. Was he actually a pipe smoker?
Yeah, he did that for a while. Yeah. He did some pipe smoking. He
and other smoking.
Yeah. No, he was. Yeah, Duck was just like. I mean, even to this day, trying to kind of emulate his lines or just like.
It's its own feel.
It's its own feel,
yes.
And it's like Duck is Duck, and it's like. So. Yeah, all of them. I mean, they were just, they were architects of that stuff. And Booker T and Steve Cropper, I mean, you can play at it and get close to it, but, they just had a thing. Duck probably, this album, I guess when I first met Duck there was a band he was playing in Memphis for a while called the Coolidge.
Mm-hmm.
And another Stax alumni was Bobby Manuel was playing guitar in that band. And so that's, I think, around the time I had met him, because if he would go out of town, I would fill in for him for that band. So he
nice. Backing up Duck Dunn. I love that. Now, I'll ask you the same question I asked Debbie. Where does the name come from, Duck? Is there a story behind that?
I don't know about that.
Debbie didn't know either.
Let's see.
Maybe that's a childhood nickname.
Yeah, I would imagine it just came from that it was Donald, so they started calling him
Donald. That's
Duck,
right, Donald Duck Dunn. Yeah, of course.
I've never heard of an official story, but I guess that's probably what it was.
Yeah, so when you met him, you just knew him as Duck.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, cool. What was it like working with Buddy Guy?
Oh, that was...
Let's talk about that.
There was another one of a kind.
Was that here in Memphis?
That was I think we cut that in Nashville.
Okay.
At a place called the Sound Kitchen.
Was it on Music Row?
No, it was actually, I think it was in Franklin, where it was.
Beautiful area.
And great studio. And I did a few albums with the producer, was David C., David Rifkin. And he produced that. David Z was who worked with Prince all through up through Purple Rain, recorded all that stuff.
So did you do just one song with Buddy or a full album?
No, it was a full album called Heavy Love. Was the name of that album, and I think the single from it was a song called Midnight Train that him and Jonny Lang sang together.
Oh, so that's where the connection with Jonny Lang happens. So that was part of
Johnny was actually before that.
Okay.
Johnny, a lot of that was recorded in Minneapolis, and then some of it in Memphis. But there were 2 albums did with Johnny. One was called "Lie to Me," and the other was "Wander This World."
Yeah.
And
So how do you get on studios' radar and producers' radar that are in Minnesota? You know, you told the story about your very first session, but it clearly ramps up to this level of flying out to studio dates. So how does, and I know Jeff kind of already asked this, like how does this happen? How do you break in? But is there a particular moment that really set your name to these other studios and producers around the country?
Or was it just being consistently good, which you have to be
Yeah, but the
doing this
word
kind of
spreads
work?
somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it back in those days. Well, it's still the same now. It's kind of
Who you know?
a word of mouth.
One
Somebody
connection
says,
makes the
leads
next
to
one.
another.
Yeah.
I think the deal with now there's this big gap here between what I did in California and left California, and came back home to because I was just homesick and came back home.
Yeah.
But had I stayed out there, it's always been this thing of because I was getting into some good stuff.
Did you know Leland Sklar back then?
I didn't know him. I've never met him. Never met him.
Okay.
I just remember them trying to call him that night.
Yeah.
I did thank him on an email to him one time about thanks for not being available that night.
Yeah, he's played on over 1,000 albums.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Oh
Yes.
my God! He's
No
just,
lie. He's
yeah.
on everything.
Well, there's one artist that Derek doesn't have on here that I'm aware that you have done work for, and that's Todd Agnew. So my wife listens to a lot of contemporary Christian music, and I do too. I've never listened to a lot of Todd Agnew, but I knew that you had played on his albums. How did you get on his radar, and how did that work out?
That was Ardent.
Okay.
That was Ardent. That was they had a Christian label at the time.
Okay.
And actually, let me go back on that.
And you worked with Kim Trammell
on
those. Who's an amazing Memphis drummer.
Yeah. She. What I remember of that, it was Todd was a worship leader.
Okay.
In Memphis, at a church.
Okay.
And of course, I got pulled in. Somebody recommended me. I think that might have. I don't know if that's when I met Kim. Anyway, Todd was just doing his own record.
Okay.
At Ardent, which was the Grace Like Rain.
Gotcha.
And so the Jody and the label, they were hearing this stuff, and then they talked to him about signing a deal. That's how that came about.
Okay.
But at first, Todd, if I'm not mistaken, was funding it himself.
Okay.
And so it was just Todd.
That can't be inexpensive.
Yeah. So it was just Todd, Kim, myself doing the tracks.
Okay.
Like that, and then bringing in, I know Jack Holder at that time was playing on a lot of that stuff.
Okay.
And it just grew from there.
Right.
Because when Ardent signed Todd, then it was,
Nice.
So
that's how that came about.
I want to shift to the Deb Jam Band, but pre-Deb Jam Band, I want to hear about your history with Debbie Jamieson, because Jack Holder, all these names came up in her interview, and you guys you mentioned Jingles. Obviously, she had a ton of studio work with Jingles. Were you guys in the same circles back in the day?
Not so much. She did. There was the big jingle place was Pepper Tanner. And,
Tanner. That's right. She brought up Tanner. Yep.
That's where Debbie was. But I mean, I think Debbie also did things at Shoe too.
Now, did Tanner have musicians, or was it just?
Did
you ever work Tanner?
very rarely if I did.
Okay.
And I mean, I can't recall because they had their people that, you know,
Right.
it was just like, and they were the bigger ones. Shoe, or, you know, did more stuff. Shoe was doing jingles, and also was our artist development. That's where Joyce Cobb started at.
Okay.
And an artist that's gone now, Rick Christian. But anyway, Shoe did a lot of jingles, so that's where I was.
Mm-hmm. But you knew of her.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I knew
Yeah.
a Debbie. I knew a Debbie from when I first came back to Memphis, and she was in a band called Phase 2, and I
Yep.
just went like,
She brought them up.
whoa, they were
Yeah.
so good. And her and Rennie Slace, Rennie Crook, and just a great band, man. So
Mhm.
yeah, I didn't really meet her then, but that's.
So
I remember seeing
is
her.
the Deb Jam Band the first project you do with her, or had there been projects prior?
We probably did things before, one-offs. Yeah, we did. At one time, Eddie Harrison's band. I know Debbie
Mhm.
was singing with that at one time, and I was playing with that. So we'd cross each other's
Mhm.
path
So
once in a while, but not just a real committed band situation.
Gotcha.
So how does this bridge to the Deb Jam Band?
That happened. That was just kind of an organic thing.
Yeah.
Because you've been with them since day one, correct? And I'm sorry, I apologize if I'm misremembering her part of the interview.
They, her and Gene Nunez were doing a duo
Yeah.
Right.
at Neil's.
And they
That's
still
what it
do
was.
that.
And they still do that. And so there was a guy that he just recently passed on, a guy named Danny Bolin, who was started funding for some other musicians to come in with them on Tuesday night. So they would play a set. I think it started originally with Jackie Reddick and or Jackie Reddick Diamond, and Doug McMahon.
Yeah.
And then they would come in after Debbie and Gene played a set. I think that's the way it started. And then I don't know how I popped into it. I really don't remember.
Just appeared.
I just, I think I played. There was some kind of special thing. I think I came over and, you know, and Jackie was doing key bass, and she really
Right.
didn't want to do that. Even she did it great. She just
Mhm.
didn't want to, you know, do all that.
Yeah.
And so that's how I
Okay.
got put in on it. And then,
And you guys are every Tuesday, is that correct?
and then, yeah, we're still kind of keeping it going. And now Danny was funding all that, was paying for
I see.
the extra
Okay.
because.
And we're not familiar with Danny, but I did see a post about him passing away.
Yeah, he
So we
passed
want
away.
to give our condolences to his family and thank him for all that he did for funding this thing, because that's
Sure.
no small task.
Oh yeah, he did that, and there was another band he had called 8 Miles High.
Okay.
That some of the members of Eric Stone
Yeah.
and
So it's great because he's in essence sponsoring it. So free at the door. Neil's doesn't have to pay for
Right.
a full band on a Tuesday.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
where that came from.
Well,
It was just
hopefully
Danny
you
putting out the
guys
money.
keep doing it, because it's fantastic. Derek and I have made it out a few
Mhm.
times, and I'd love to see
Yeah.
it.
Well, y'all need to
Keep
come
going.
up and sit in, because it's become like it's really just, it's close to just like hanging in your living room
Sure.
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of thing, and it's like people just come and just.
Well,
So,
that's nice of you to say that, but when you have caliber players like you and Eric and Debbie up there,
Doug.
it's
yeah.
and Gene, it's a little bit
Yeah.
more than that.
So-
because you
So
guys
the
are all
night-
fantastic.
The night me and Jeff go to catch a set, the goal was to sit with Debbie
Yeah.
and talk to her about the show.
Yeah.
And you weren't there that night. Gene
No.
played bass,
Yep.
and they had another guitar player sitting in.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
were you not properly moisturized? Were
But yeah.
were you suffering from dry skin?
No doubt.
You may have had
No doubt.
You may have had COVID, because
Yeah.
didn't you have COVID at one point?
And I was dry.
That,
I had COVID. That's another little thing that comes along with COVID.
Josheen can do a lot of
Yeah.
things that can't get rid of COVID.
I'm telling you, he can't get rid of COVID.
They never never told you about the dry taint with COVID.
But it helps.
Yeah.
It helps with the symptoms, Yeah. But they don't want that out there. But,
Another band that you're working with currently on the local level, Landslide.
Yeah.
We have had Miss Sarah Spain in here and
She was
interviewed her.
delightful.
Yes,
Sarah
she
was
is.
awesome. And thank you for all the love you gave her in her episode.
Oh, God.
and in general, you've become a real champion for us.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Sharing and
You
commenting.
got some, shoot, yeah.
But yeah, of course you came up in that story too. But yeah, Landslide.
Yeah, tell us about Landslide, the members, what you're doing, and where where you think it's going to go from here. Are you guys going to try to do some shows outside of Memphis, or is it mainly local level?
I mean, it has been. I came to it through Greg Redding.
Mm-hmm.
And
another name that continues to come up that we will interview at some point.
Yeah,
and the story stems from School of Rock, but were you teaching there too?
No. What happened, they had the band together, and the bass player, I think he had worked at School of Rock.
That's
School
right.
Of Rock, I think.
That's right. You're the second guy.
Yeah, I was second guy.
That's
It
right.
was forgive me, I can't remember his last name. I know his first name was Dylan.
Okay.
And he moved away. And so Greg hollered at me. I had been really backing off of a lot of live playing.
Okay.
And so Greg called. And I said, my first thing, Greg and I have known each other for years, but we've never played in a committed type band together. Feels like we would have because we've just known each other forever. Anyway, so I go, well, that would be really cool playing a band with him. My first question was, are you playing all the time? Are you running on the road? Because I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I said, no, man, we're not doing that. So it's, well, Sarah probably told you all the members. It's Greg on guitar and keyboards, and Sarah, Savoya Trainum, and Jeff Birch, JB, I call him, on drums, and Robert Allen Parker on the other guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And then Greg and Sarah and Savoya all kind of switch off on keyboards and stuff,
So what was the deciding factor for you
to join? It just sounded like the only other thing I had done like that's like a niche thing, tribute type of thing, playing all one music, is playing once in a while with Rob Cottle, who does the Rod Stewart thing.
Mm-hmm. I forgot about that. And you did that with Pete, right?
Yeah, but Pete. Pete did it. He did it once in a while. Mostly, it's been Rob and his brother Russ Cottle.
Yeah, his brother's a drummer.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so Pete was just a backup.
Well, I think Pete. Before I ever did anything with Rob, I think Pete was a regular drummer way back.
Gotcha.
Because Rob's been doing that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had done that, doing all the Rod Stewart stuff. And it's just kind of fun to do one artist stuff,
Mm-hmm. And you just recently did one with Jimmy Fault on the drums, correct?
Yeah, Jimmy played. He sure did.
The last Neil's show for Rob Cottle.
Sure did.
Yeah,
killed it. Came in and killed it.
The rhythm section was Jimmy Fault and Davy Dave Smith. All right. Love it.
Yeah, I love Jimmy. Boy, he's just, when Pete passed away, Pete was, I don't know if you know this, he was playing in our church band.
Yes.
And so right away I go, oh, wow, and then trying to find, Jimmy was the first thing that came to my mind.
Sure.
Yeah.
I thought that, well, he's probably doing something or another church thing. Luckily, he wasn't, know. And
that and Area 51, it just seems like a natural fit.
Yeah.
From outside the bands.
Yeah.
As a fan, it just seemed like it was the right fit.
Yeah. Yeah. Jimmy was close. Pete had his thing, Jimmy has his thing, but they were the closest in just the way they feel, So it was, So yeah, Jimmy did the Rob Cottle thing and just tore it up. I knew he would.
So back to Landslide. So that now you're looking at another opportunity to be in a niche tribute band.
Right.
Was the fact that it was Fleetwood Mac make you interested?
Yeah, I don't know how you guys are about this, but Fleetwood Mac songs have always been rolling around. You'd hear them.
Oh yeah,
it's in the ether. Yeah.
Yeah. But when I started really listening to them to play them, it's like, God, these are some great songs.
Yeah.
Just really great songs. And then they're great at doing it, you know? So it was, it's been a lot of fun. It's been, they've mainly been local, but there's been some talk about, you know, because you only can play local so much with something like that.
Sure.
But also everybody in the band has other things going.
Sure.
I know Robert plays with he's like Josh. He's got about 4 or 5 bands he plays with. And then, you know, so everybody does. And then they Greg, JB, they work at School of Rock.
Right.
But, you know, sometimes it can be a juggling thing when we're going, hey, can everybody do this gig?
Yeah.
Oh, I can. But y'all, you know, that's the name of the game, you know, unless somebody can get control of your calendar all the time.
Sure.
You have to do some other things. You know?
Well, I want to bring up another local project that is one you work formally. And I've talked about this with every member that's been in here that was in that band, but the lineup.
Oh, yeah.
That was you, David Kurtz, Pete Mendillo, Josh Haynes, and who am I forgetting?
Kenny Long was the
Kenny Long, absolutely.
Was the keyboard player.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's the wrong one. You don't remember I forgot I have a new one.
We have to use that one at least once an episode.
Please.
But man,
I will say, sorry to cut you off.
No worries.
Davey, you're doing great with names. You're crushing it. You're just
man. I mean, I'm surprised.
They're just flowing out of you.
You'll hit me. You'll hit me in a minute. I'm not going to remember something.
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I did have to when you said that and I went, oh, who was
that? Yeah, great band, amazing band, full of amazing talent, and I miss that band every day. I love every member of that band. Kenny, David, you, I mean, Josh, and of course we miss Pete terribly, but Pete was such an amazing drummer and. That was just a great band, man. You guys had a great...
What was the song list like?
It was everything. I remember hearing Sledgehammer. I remember hearing some...
Put you right on the spot.
You really did.
I mean, are we talking rock?
No, it was rock.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of went...
You went in all kinds of directions.
What was the average tempo of their set list?
Gosh,
I can't give you a number.
What?
But it was 97.
120 beats.
Yeah, 97 beats. I'm trying to remember. Did you guys do Duran Duran? It seemed like I heard a Duran Duran song.
We may have. We were kind of all over the map.
But it wasn't.
I didn't mean to put y'all on the spot.
But
I know we did a Wang Chung song.
Yep, remember that?
We did
Wang Chung Tonight.
Yeah, we did one of them.
Right.
I can't remember which one. What was it? Dance Hall Days.
Yeah, Dance Hall Days. Yeah.
Remember we did that? We did Tears for Fears.
Yeah.
We
good
did
stuff.
Phil Collins. In the Air Tonight.
Did you do Simple Minds?
I don't remember.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that. And
Classic.
then we did some of David's originals.
Yep. And he has some fantastic originals.
And probably by now they may have moved on, but some of the songs that Josh would do, probably what he does in Area 51, we probably
maybe some of those
few of those like
Sledgehammer. I know that's a staple.
Yeah,
Area 51.
Yeah. I mean, we're just all over the map. Yeah, I mean, it was a really fun.
How long did that band run for? Several years? A few years?
It was a few years.
Yeah, good little run.
And it started with Jack Holder on guitar.
Jack Holder. It's true. It started with Jack, like great Jack Holder.
Man.
It was Jack and David.
And what I really loved about you guys, you played Dan McGinnis quite a bit. And that's right down the street from my house. So it's so easy for me to come and see you.
We played there.
You were close. But you played Neil's. We played,
We mostly, it got to where we played. At the time, that was another one of those things where people's availability. Josh had another band that he was playing with most weekends.
Right.
I was doing a lot more live playing then.
Would that have been Grand Theft Audio by chance?
It was.
That's what it was. He was playing, they were playing a lot at that point.
And that's one of the toughest things about being in a band with such amazing players is that everybody's so damn good that they were really, really busy.
Well,
and their calendars are crazy, and it's
they got to
hard.
pay the rent, and so it's
know?
like,
So you say yes when something pops in.
Sure.
You say yes to it.
Yeah,
Sure.
it gets tough, you know. You see, that's a funny thing about what the old days, like when I first came back to Memphis. There used to be actually where everybody worked were hotel lounges, and they would book bands for 5 or 6 nights a week.
Just tons of work between that and all the jingle work.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what made me, because when I came to Memphis, my intentions were to kind of not play music, and I was going to go to the art academy, and I didn't do that, and then I was just working day jobs.
Yeah,
but then started falling into meeting musicians and playing again.
Yeah,
and it was, I got to where I was play 5 or 6 nights a week. I was making more money doing that. I know this is hard to imagine, making more money doing that than working a regular 40-hour work week.
Yeah,
right.
And that's the way it was back then. And now, you don't have that.
Just like that nowadays. You get the casino world.
Well, the kids, you got, if you do that.
And I benefited from that circuit myself.
That would
playing
be
5 nights a week, but I had to travel to do that.
Oh, well, okay, yeah.
There was tons.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Tunica.
This was right, and Debbie really did a lot of this because she really came along in that era where it was like the Ramada Inn, and they all booked bands 5 and 6 nights a week. And I mean, maybe top 40 stuff you'd be doing, and the disco stuff, whatever of the day, you know. And, but, you can make a living at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as we wind down here, let's talk current again, but studio. What's going on in your studio career now? Who are some of the artists that you've been working with lately?
Well, I mean, it's, of course, back in a lot of the stuff you were talking, there was this little area there where I kind of got in on the backside, the last little time where people were calling.
Before studios started closing.
Yeah, before it started going where it is now.
Okay.
So it's hit and miss. I mean, they still come out work.
I mean, I see you post pictures all the time from studios.
I mean, I work with a producer, Matt Rothspang, and he does quite a bit of stuff as both matter of fact, he just won a couple of Grammys as an engineer, producer. And he's got a studio called Southern Grooves that's in the Crosstown Concourse of Memphis.
Okay.
So I do some work for him. Still work for Jim Gaines, the legendary Jim Gaines producer, that he kind of stopped for a minute, but he's back into it now. We just finished a album for Ronnie Baker Brooks that'll be coming out, blues. He does a lot of blues stuff. So,
But I mean, and then with some gigging.
And then,
you're staying a little busy.
Oh, yeah.
Currently, correct?
Between, Landslide and just into church stuff. And
Debbie.
then, enough's kind of, my wife got me to back out a little bit.
Yeah. I understand.
Who is joining us today in off in the shadows. You want to say hello? I'll promise I won't put the camera on you. Come say hello.
Come say hello.
Hello.
And you've been a great audience because every time we're being goofballs, I look over and you're just laughing along with us.
I was trying to be quiet.
She loves Goofy. Yeah.
I do.
Well, she married you, right?
She married me.
Right.
If you start farting, she'll really fall out.
I will.
And you find a girl that likes for you to fart,
That's a
we're
keeper.
talking.
marry her.
Yeah.
Woo.
But not smelling. No. Just the sound.
Well, I mean,
she likes the sound.
When you lay a deep stinker of a fart, and sometimes it can, make the nether regions a little,
Nether regions. That's my good one. I love that word.
So pick up
Phrase.
some Josheen. Make your wives very happy that, okay, hon, I'm going to let you fart, but you gotta step it up and clean it up a little bit.
Yeah,
For real. You gotta take care of business.
Yeah, because
then we got the wipes.
We got the wipes too. I mean,
they're weenus wipes, but we need a taint wipe.
Yeah, we do need one.
We need an anus wipe.
Yeah,
Really.
Yeah.
The word anus needs to be involved in this now.
I got a lot of work to do when I get through here, don't I?
Oh my goodness! I think
So
I think we need to start. Go ahead.
One more quick, serious question before this goes completely off the rails. Is the Deb Jam Band still currently playing Tuesdays at Neil's? Is that still happening?
That's still going on.
Okay.
We're going to kind of try to keep that
See what happens.
happening and see what all falls into place. Because,
Gotcha.
like I said, that's just like a little jam thing. And you guys come out and
we will.
play.
We will come back for
We
sure.
just cut up. That's all about a cut up thing.
I've got to come and drag Eric Stone into the studio for an interview.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And Gene.
Yeah,
we got to get everybody in here.
Eric was booked.
Yeah, he was booked. And
but
he
we had some scheduling issues. It happens.
Just make sure he wipes thoroughly before he comes in.
We'll get him in here.
Does he have his own wipes?
Just he'll know what you're talking about.
All
Just-
right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Davy Dave Smith, everybody, once again. Man,
Thank you, guys.
you did not disappoint, sir. We were so excited to have you in here,
Yes.
and with all the gimmicks and the hooting and hollering, but also the great history and stories that you brought to us, man. Thank you for doing this with us.
And
thank
we
you for
know we
having me.
didn't touch on everything you've done because we'd be here for a couple of days, but we got all of it in we could.
Yes, and check out his website again. It's tripledmusic.com. I mean, everything you need to hear, watch, read, everything Dave Smith is there on that website. And as always, Jeff, our audience, man, what can we do without them? Right?
Nothing.
Nothing. That's right.
They mean everything. Without the audience, this doesn't happen. Check out our major sponsor for the season, HempvilleCBD.com. TRS 20 for 20% off at checkout. And our band sponsors. They are awesome.
Yes, thank you to you guys for helping us out. Plus, Hempville, any orders over $50, free shipping. Come on. Free shipping.
Free shipping.
That's my Yankee coming out. And then, look at that.
Well, don't forget about
cut
that
to Jeff's
sponsor.
camera here. Josheen, keep it dewy, everybody.
Keep it doing.
And why don't y'all, we always say go see a band. Yes. But get dewy ahead of time. Show up dewy.
Show up Dewey.
Absolutely.
How about that?
Yeah.
TheRhythmSectionPod.com. Find all our links and channels there, everybody. Again, Davy Dave Smith, thank you so much. And
Thank you,
y'all
guys.
have a great day. Thank you.
See ya.